Hey, we're finally done with Mad Castle. We can move on to a weirder level.
Yes, there's a hidden military base in the island. No, don't ask any questions. Oh, yeah, this is kind of like a death race level, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. That's probably what they were going for. It's only been 20 minutes. Want to try and beat this level as well?
Yeah, go for it.
Or we could always switch over to Library of Ruin.
Go for this.
All right.
Might as well, you know, like, do the hour that we normally do.
We'll see what happens. Last time, I kind of figured we'd be done with Mad Castle in one go, but we got stuck on the dungeon forever.
Yeah. Well, in fairness, that was a really terrible level to begin with.
He's communicating with someone over a transmitter. A chaser. Must be one of those fixers. Can't we get any sound?
No, it's one of those inner ear jobs. There's no sound to get. We did pick up some fishy signals, but the encryption is military grade.
I thought we had the keys to all the chaser encryption schemes.
So did I, but not this one. Maybe it's a new code.
Strange. That smile. I've seen it somewhere before.
They're very tolerant of my errors today.
There's a flood of audience interest in Jack.
I've seen it before in the eyes of every child.
Have we lost?
145 million at present, sir.
What? The entire audience must have bid on him.
Only 30% or so, but there was no point limit. We had some bids over the 100,000 mark.
Should we remove Jack from the bidding?
We can't do that. He's our star player. Nor can we eliminate him quietly. No. It will have to be done on camera, or the audience will never buy it.
I know he's supposed to be good, sir, but what if he's up against something he's never seen before?
Continue.
The guy took on a vampire 10 minutes ago. What have you got that he hasn't seen already?
Yeah, the castle full of monsters should be insurmountable.
As you know, we already did.
Gonna have to dig deep for this.
Installation on the
He didn't even blink.
He's
He's not a guy who is ever going to be surprised by anything.
Discrepancies in the power usage records.
Very interesting. Lead
20-foot abomination. Did you not see the giant Frankenstein's monster?
Put him at minus 400 with no limit, and be sure to mention we don't know his current whereabouts.
Yes, sir.
You're right. Should have probably killed the bitch, but I got work to do.
Work? What might that be, Jack?
It's a thing that you do to earn money. I understand you might not be familiar with it, but it's something that most normal people do. Yes, this is one of my favorite tracks in the game.
It is pretty slick.
I do love Move.
Yep. I like Ride and Let's Go, and probably going to hear both of those in this area as well.
More than likely.
I guess that's the brakes. Ooh, I have like boost.
Good thing about the riding stages is that at least there's no time limit.
True. And they're quite fast.
Yeah. I think the last one was only like 5 minutes or so.
Yep. Definitely a lot shorter than the levels where you run around and actually fight people.
Yeah.
Oh, up a level.
Bit of
Unlocking secrets. Yeah. Okay. So I made them kill each other. You got no driver. What you did to yourself. Bumping into each other. Apparently there's going to be a bloodbath challenge in the motorcycle.
Unless it's some kind of fucked up bowling challenge.
Let's see.
Look at the most golden of all arches, the blood-rat challenge, Arch of Anarchy. Pass through this bad boy, and you wanna ride straight to hell.
No subtitles. So it's impossible to keep up. Stormtroopers punch me in the face. Quite aggressively. Pretty sure I wanted to stay on the ground floor. We're running in circles. That is the nature of these maps, pretty much all of them.
Yeah, it's all pretty much straight lines.
Yep. It's not deciding which one I'm trying to attack here.
Yeah, sometimes the game was a bit like, what do now?
Too much going on. Terribly confused.
Baby, baby, baby. Y'all know a minute with the Black Baron is guaranteed to send you right back to heaven. But y'all's got to give the devil his due now. And the best way is to find yourself some alien-looking gray motherfuckers and run down as many of they bitch asses as you can. Watch them close, though. Because if they make a move, those little bug-eyed freaks is worth mad points, yo. Baby, baby, come on now. The Black Baron's package.
I don't think Black Baron's lip flap is normally this bad. It's like straining for krills.
I noticed a few, like, there's been a few discrepancies with the subtitles. That had like 2 or 3.
Oh yeah. So this is the big thing that they thought would surprise Jack into losing his mind.
Kind of reminds me of one of the stages in No More Heroes. It's one where you go to fight Bad Girl. But there's a bit where you're on the field of the local sports dome, baseball field, and you have to run over dozens upon dozens of players with the motorbike.
Yeah, it fits. But then there's aliens.
Yeah. To be fair, No More Heroes 3 has aliens.
True. These look like guys in like cheap 1950s rubber costumes.
Yeah, Zat's going to be running around the corner in his tennis shoes in a minute.
Oh, there's no aliens to kill.
Yeah, they're not really doing much to keep the field stocked particularly well, are they?
Nay. Killing faster than they can replenish.
Always really annoying when there's like a game with some kind of score-based challenge that does that.
Yep.
I'm always just like, I can't be doing that well, can I?
Punished for doing too well. Really, they want me to be doing like fancy kills like that.
Giving 25 to life for being the awesomest murderer in the field.
Gotta catch me first. Hard to do when I'm on my bike. $280K.
Anyway, as we were saying.
Yep. Just forget about the aliens. It's weird of them to introduce aliens so early.
Yeah, genuinely surprised they went with Area 66 and not 69.
True. That is much more in line with the sort of thing they do.
Yes, it's a fair joke, but it's right there.
Yeah. Not above the worst possible joke.
Like 2009, it was still relevant.
Yeah. Sometimes people didn't immediately make the 69 joke.
Incidentally, happy 420 for me.
Good call. So much going on, I forget all the dates. No matter how funny they may be.
You know, the calendar's just packed these days.
Just jumping on enemies.
I don't remember Goomba stomping anyone.
Seems to work.
I'd say it's like aside from Elise in the last level, for obvious reasons, pretty much everything in this half of the game is a complete blank to me.
Yeah, I mean, this level is not very... It's memorable in the sense that it's one of the few driving levels.
Yeah.
So it's a whole unique gimmick. What specifically occurs during the level, that's not going to stick with you.
Yeah. I remember there was aliens in one of the stages where, like, they replaced the standard bad guys, but...
So that's the whole thing about Area 66. Aliens everywhere. They're not the primary villains. They're still humans. Stormtrooper-looking dudes.
Yeah, they start doing a bit of a Beautiful Joe thing here.
Doing a lot of stuff.
For the last level, which is just like a really big Star Wars riff.
Oh yeah. Okay, taking the lower path for once.
Yeah, this isn't exactly like a Sonic game where the upper path is always the correct choice.
True. We're close to where we need to be. Going through the Bloodbath Challenge recovered all my HP. Generous. That looks good. The racing gimmick is very, very shallow, so obviously they don't want it outstaying its welcome.
Yeah, that post-challenge thing was really just time wasting until you got enough points.
Oh yeah. Grinding. Neither of us can figure out how we wanted to attack each other.
That impasse was real.
Yep. I think boss battle was on the ground floor here. Sure looked like it in preview. Don't get a mini-map here. So what racing game has a mini-map? It's unheard of.
Whoever said Carmageddon, you sit your ass down and never speak again.
That's not a game at all.
It's really more of a war crime.
I mean, Postal's worse in every conceivable way.
Postal's playable.
You got me there.
At one point, I was actually seriously considering doing an a let's play of Postal Redux, because I have a weird fondness for it because it was one of the first PC games I ever got.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know much about it. I'd be interested in such a ridiculous thing.
Yeah. Plus, the Redux version has like a whole bunch of levels that were weirdly added in a Japanese-only release.
I guess I lost. Tragic.
Yeah.
So Kojak is Evil Jack. It took me a long time to actually figure that out. Even though they're basically the same name.
I hear Kojak, I think Telly Savalas. I'm sure pretty much everyone watching does.
He is bald, if I recall correctly. And so is Jack. He's bald, so...
Yeah. That, or you're all thinking, what the hell is this boomer-ass reference that this guy's coming out with? Which, I can honestly say, fair.
Yeah. Missed opportunity. I mean, Jack always has a cigarette in his mouth. Could have given Kojak a permanent lollipop in his mouth.
Yeah.
One down. Plenty more where that came from, though. A little unfair. He hit me while I was respawning. This is another very easy boss, just like the vampire, though.
Yeah.
Hard to lose this one. I'll find a way. But it's pretty hard.
Art of the cards, my friend.
Yeah. Ah. Now, it seemed like we should have initiated a struggle there.
It's funny comparing this to... There's a boss battle in Final Fantasy VII Remake, which happens during the motorcycle chase sequence in that. And... like, really, there's no comparison between the two. Other than they both have really good music, but I'm like, one of those is fun. There we go.
It's quite a hit.
Seriously, that was like 20% of his health.
Yep. Should be able to just bonk him to death. Yeah, there we go.
One more good hit.
Yeah, one collision. Execution time. Now motorcycle duel, like right out of The Simpsons.
I was gonna say, yeah, now you start fighting with motorbike. Or there was a really, really dumb movie that came out right about the time of the first Fast and Furious movie called Torque.
Ah, I've heard that one.
Yeah, that film is so stupid.
I think Adam Scott was in it, and Scott Aukerman always makes fun of him for it.
Yeah, I feel like the motorcycle duel from The Simpsons was based on it because it is just that stupid a movie.
Possibly, but I do think the motorcycle joke happened like pre 9/11 on The Simpsons.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people get into voice acting because they're washed up live action stars. Look at the entire cast of The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Or don't
Well,
look
to
at
be
them
fair,
because you've only heard them for 25 years.
Dan Castellaneta was still getting a fair number of live action roles.
I think he still pops up on very rare occasions.
Yeah. I was still doing stuff up into the mid-90s at the very least. I remember watching him in a couple of episodes of that 70s show, of all things.
I want to say he had a recurring role on Arrested Development.
Possibly. I think he might have showed up in an episode of The X-Files at one point.
Oh, God. Well, speaking of the X-Files, we are back with MadWorld.
Yeah. I know
Which
you're
normally
all,
would not be a good segue, but here it is.
I know you're all dying to hear us talk about really bad TV shows and
So he
movies,
got
but we
through.
do have a game to play.
We're getting a
sort
large
of.
number of claims from the audience, sir. I'm not sure how much longer we can keep Jack's feed black.
We took an attempt at this level last time we streamed.
If so, who is he after?
It was a
Number
game
3,
over,
number 6, number
and
7,
OBS
number
gave us the
15.
weirdest issue
Some
we've
of our
ever seen
biggest
before,
supporters are
so I
threatening
couldn't
to
solve that
GoFund
live on stream.
We're getting more complaints
Required
from
a
the
full
mass
computer
audience as
reset
well, sir.
just to get us back on track, just to get a game over anyway.
Fine. Open the channels to the installation.
Also,
Yeah,
I said
that-
during that recording that I didn't like Breath of the
Put in a
Wild
request
or
to the
Persona
sponsors
5,
of
and I can't have
top
anyone
10
knowing that,
contestants.
or they'd execute
They'll
me.
agree to pitting their men
To
against
be fair, I'm not a big fan of Breath of
Right
the Wild
away.
either.
Yeah. Well, now our secrets
Sponsors.
go to the grave. No one will ever
Who's
know.
sponsoring Jack?
Except for the fact we just
Number
mentioned it
13,
again.
sir.
God damn it.
We're
Lord
not
Guesser.
good at subterfuge,
Yes.
I'm going
Yep.
to say.
Except the contract was
Certainly a bad
voided
time
last
for
night
it.
after
Tears of the Kingdom
skirmish
just
in
came out,
Asian
and it's
town.
all anyone cares
This
about.
says the contract with
Yeah,
Jack was
I've
presenting
been
issues.
trying to get back
Someone
into
is
Shin
still
Megami Tensei 5.
He's a popular
There's
player.
a...
Anyone in
The
our
game, I
audience
think I
could be
mentioned it
supplying
before
him
on
with
stream, but the
weapons,
game only has like
contract or not.
3 proper dungeons
True
in it.
enough.
and all of them suck.
And we're sure Lord Gesser.
And it has taken me the better part of a
Sponsor
year and a
contestant
half just to
agreements are
get
strictly
through this one
confidential,
dungeon.
but all signs
Like
point to
going,
ties being
oh,
severed.
I forgot why I was playing this when I
Get
pick
me
it up, and then
Gesser.
going, oh, that's why, and
I
then putting
need
it
to
down for
speak
another
with
4
him.
months.
Yes, sir.
Wasn't there like a fairly vulgar delay between SMT 4 and 5 as well?
I think it was about 6 years or so between the two games.
It's fairly vulgar.
Yeah, the worst one was the American and the UK release, where America, we got it something like 4 years after the US release, and as a digital-only release. I wound up having to import a copy of the game from Canada, which was not cheap.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah, I'm not bitter at Nintendo and their backwards ass policies, but I will pirate everything they ever release.
Yeah, I mean, in previous generations, it used to be like you would get equal amounts of exclusives in territories. Like Europe would have an equal number of exclusives compared to the US.
Not really. There's only a handful of, like for the Super Nintendo, for example, there's only a handful of European exclusive games, and that's mostly like sports games or IPs that haven't been heard of outside of Italy. So not really. Like most of the big RPGs that came out on the Super Nintendo, we never got. So no Chrono Trigger, no Earthbound, no Final Fantasy VI. We did get Terra Enigma, but that's about it.
I was thinking the PS2 generation because that's basically all I'm ever thinking about.
PS2 generation, again, much the same thing. RPGs were more commonplace, but not really.
I can name a ton of European exclusives on the PS2 generation. Sort of Etheria, others.
I'm gonna be honest, you're not missing out much with Sword.
I know it's bad, but it's silly.
It's visually, it's like an interesting game. In the same way that a parent will look at the ashtray their 2-year-old made in kindergarten and go, "Oh, that's an interesting mug."
I like silly shit, so I would like Sword of Etheria for sheer novelty, because there's really nothing else to that game. But there was also Gregory Horror Show. That's a good game.
Yep, that is a fair point. Although it's weird because we never got the related TV show.
Yeesh.
Yeah, we never got the TV show. America never got the game.
Weird. I never had seen the TV show. It's on YouTube now, but I didn't have access to it whenever it existed, in whatever form it existed.
Yeah, it was on. I want to say it was on something like Spike TV in the States. One of those.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Judo gaming channels that were around in the mid 2000s. And I think it might have gotten a short run on something like MTV. In the same way that Happy Tree Friends was getting shown on there.
True, yeah.
But there's like we never got any of the well, actually, I tell a lie. I was going to say we never got any of the Xenosaga games. We did. We got the second one, and only the second one.
Perfect.
Yeah. Let's get the worst game in an incomprehensible series that will not make any sense without any of the preceding titles. And we also never got Xenogears over here either. But we did get Xenoblade when the States didn't. I think we had it for about a year or so.
Yeah, weird trade-off. Publishing was intensely bizarre back in those days.
Yeah, Nintendo have always had the dumbest way of doing things.
Yep.
And they've not gotten any better.
Remember last time we played this, I was trying to make a staircase
Yes.
to one of these higher crates. I still don't know if it'll work, but we can move the crates. And then they get broken anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That is not the way we are supposed to get up to those higher platforms. I did find the way. Turns out it's relatively simple.
Do you still remember how to get up there?
I mean, I'm likely to forget it in the next 5 minutes. This level is very convoluted. It's nowhere near as difficult as the dungeon, though. Which is weird. That's the last level we got stuck on, and the dungeon is like the worst level of the game.
Yeah, that was not a fun time for anyone.
Yeah, that's why I didn't mind replaying this one. Because our recording was pretty bad. With the dungeon, I just did it off screen when we had to redo it.
Yeah.
This one,
we
I
were
don't
there
mind
for
going
like
back.
the last 30 seconds of it.
Yep. Even that was too much.
Yeah. Like I mentioned last time as well, that this, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but this final area is like very reminiscent of the final level of the first Reach Drill.
Yeah, there's certainly a lot of crossover with those developers.
Yeah, because it has a very Star Wars-y pastiche for its final level, as this does.
It sure
Those
does.
guys are stormtroopers and all but names.
Yeah, this game is not ashamed about blatantly ripping things off. Barely sanding off the serial numbers.
Yep. And what is a trash compactor, but a more motivated garbage ship? Let's go Moxie, damn it.
You get pretty good points for doing that, but it's a long cutscene every single time.
Yeah. Surprised it's not more diminishing returns as well.
Yeah, seriously. It only shows one person dying when we launch multiple. It feels like they ran out of budget, maybe, to express all their details.
Yeah.
But there is still a lot of unique, creative crap here in this level. So it's not as disastrous a fall apart as a lot of late games were in this era.
Yeah.
Good for them that way.
Yeah, and like 15 years on, and they still haven't realized that starting strong and finishing strong is what you really need most of all.
Yep. I'm not as much an adherent to that theory as many others are. Because I have seen games where the middle was so bad that even though the beginning was strong and it eventually gets better, I couldn't be bothered. Gotta get this guy in the cryogenics. Iceman cometh. Oh, and the slicers are here. Just some robots. No big deal.
I forget, were we able to get enough points to trigger them last time?
Yes, we made it all the way to the boss last time. And then I died on the boss.
Oh yeah, because it's two bosses. It's 2-on-1, isn't it?
Oh yeah, the Masters. I also almost got a timeout from spending a half hour on the level before getting to the boss, so it was a lot of time wasted. We're also probably going to get, like, warnings that we're close to the time limit, because there's virtually no way to get through this level in a way that doesn't take forever.
I imagine the speedruns of this would probably be like, okay, grab a seat everyone, this is going to take a while.
Yeah, there are... I mean, there's a speedrun of every game, and it's becoming increasingly popular to speedrun games that really have no speed tech. You just play the game really fast, as you possibly can.
Yeah.
We saw that with Shadow of Rome, where the speedrun barely got under 4 hours. And there was a recent marathon called the Really, Really Longathon, appropriately named.
Oh, I love those, because they tend to do, like, ridiculously long RPGs.
Preposterously long. They had a run of Final Fantasy XIV
Oh, Jesus.
All main quests, 68 hours long.
Yeah, I was going to say, if they're doing all main quests throughout all expansions, that's going to be like a week.
Yep. It was nearly 3 entire days, day and night.
God.
Live on Twitch.
Please tell me they had some kind of round robin thing going on, because otherwise people were in danger of dying.
It was one guy, but I think he like literally took naps on certain
I
missions.
sincerely hope so.
Yeah.
Jesus. I remember one of the really, really longathons was a Shin Megami Tensei special. So they did all. I think it was only the 5 main screen games at the time: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 Apocalypse. And the shortest of them was about 4.5 to 5 hours.
Jeez. Yeah, they do always have SMT on really, really longathon.
Yeah.
This is good.
The thing is, like, the games, you can easily break them over your knees to know exactly what you're doing, but the RNG for a lot of it is so ridiculously precise. And with unless they're doing, like, the HD port of Nocturne, you will spend a lot of time on the fusion screen trying to get exactly the right skills. Imagine anyone doing the port is probably going to save about half an hour just not re-rolling skills over and over again.
Oh yeah.
Not to mention the sped up loading times and so forth.
Yeah, no reason not to do the HD for speed tech purposes.
Yeah.
I'm sure people still do the classic.
Oh,
Just to be obstinate.
people still do the original PS2 versions of the Kingdom Hearts series. Even though you can cut like a good 40 minutes off your time by using by playing the PS4 version on the PS5. The loading times in that are basically non-existent.
One alien is here. So this confused me last time. That was only one alien. We need to hunt multiple aliens to do the Death Watch challenge. It's underneath the radar there. Only one alien is currently out. So we literally cannot kill all the aliens right now. We cannot do the Death Watch challenge yet.
Remember we were hunting them down, and then it was like, okay, so is that it? Or not anymore?
Yeah. And then you just sort of get caught up trying to complete the challenge, because that's where you get most of your points normally. But not this level.
So just wound up having to beat up on minions until the score pop.
Yep. Here he is, by the way.
Hello.
We'll send him back to space.
The express route.
Oh shit! There's an Easter egg. I legitimately didn't know that.
That was a thing that occurred.
Irrefutably.
There was a thing that happened on the stream, and we were there to witness it.
Yeah.
And more than that, I don't think really needs to be said.
They're normally supposed to just turn into blood, but that guy turned into a cow. There's also the jets, which will be on this side. Just take this elevator, go over the truck, and there are the jets.
Yeah, find Benny. Yeah, that was a boomer-ass reference if ever there was.
I got it, and appreciated it. Here we go. The pimp is here.
But what you gotta know for sure is 2 holes is better than 1. Same goes for the money shot, right? So what makes money shot 2 special?
Oh yeah, that's right. Money Shot 2.0. This sucks.
Yep. Here's the part where I didn't want to replay the level, but alas.
Yeah, so I remember last time you got 1. And
That's about right.
yeah, because these challenges are completely unplayable.
Yep. The first one was ridiculously hard. This one is much harder.
And the black motherfucking Baron is gonna be a pimp to teach your ass. The rules are simpler than turning out an ugly, broke-ass college girl from Kansas. Just pop the cork in some mark and send them flying sky high. Except the bitches you gonna be popping corks in ain't gonna mind cause they alien asses used to be space cadets. You know what I mean? Baby, you want a money shot yourself, don't you? People, she don't talk much, but she into some freaky shit, let me tell you. She could take a pop. Baby, tell them who lays the motherfucking money down. Oh, hell no!
If only it were that easy.
This
Or
is a
if we
game
got
that
points
really-
for his corpse there.
Yeah. This is a game that really does need like a remake of some description.
True.
Just to, at the very least, just to even out the kinks and the issues that it has.
Oh yeah. Way too many kinks on display.
Ah.
Look at that. So close.
Right in the ribcage.
Yep. It's disturbingly precise. What is required to get a bullseye.
Yeah, and precisely precise.
Yep. I didn't think in a million years I was going to make it.
Yeah.
So I practiced this. Hitting the brawl was much, much harder than hitting the crotch. But here we are. Exclusively hitting bras.
Is that, and that's what she said, worthy moment? I'm not sure.
Hard to say, it might be a little too on the nose. But we got to second base, surprisingly. Third base, what do you know?
Home run.
Beautiful. Oh, now we can shoot a UFO with corpses. Somewhere along the line, I guess I got good at this game. Which is distressing in a lot of ways.
It's like I saw someone do, oh, blimey.
I got the fucking UFO. What is up with me today?
I saw someone do like a gimmick run almost of the final boss encounter from Drakengard.
Nice.
Which is when it suddenly turns into a rhythm game.
Yeah.
And they were doing it so that, like, they started doing it so they were pressing the button before the markers showed up. Impressive. But then for the last bit where they do something like 270 one after the other, they were doing it the very last second. So not only were they just doing it with a fraction of a second to spare, they were also doing it out of time with the music.
Oh, wow.
And I'm just watching this and I'm like, I understand like being proud of being really good at a game, but it's just really the one you want to be showing off in.
Yeah, like no one respects the later endings of Drakengard. No one really respects Drakengard. People enjoy it well enough, but
I mean, I bought it back in the day because I was a really big fan of Dynasty Warriors. Like, they were really good games to put on some music in the background or watch a movie while you're just mindlessly hacking and slashing. But because even for a Dynasty Warriors game, it's ridiculously grindy, I was like, I never really got into it. And then about 7 or 8 years later, I found out precisely how fucking batshit insane the plot gets. I was like, oh, gonna have to reevaluate this one. And then I remembered, oh yes, this game is basically unplayable for how little it respects the player. So I got a cheat disc which just leveled up all your weapons to maximum level and gave you all of them right off the bat and had a much better time.
yeah, that's smart. Actually playing the game is very foolish. It's built-on rules that no one should enjoy.
Do not play the games for it. You will have the worst possible time in that.
So that was another speedrunner really, really long-a-thon.
Oh, did someone do Drakengard?
Oh yeah, and Drakengard 2, but that's a completely different game with a completely different director,
No one cares about Drakengard too.
basically.
Yep, sounds fine as well.
Cool. Everything should be online, and we should be ready for people to get mad at your Yellow Jacket theories.
Let me know when we're just about to go on.
Too late. We're already on.
Damn it! I was wanting to do something like, and that's why Jackie is a different girl in every single timeline. Now, as for Misty,
That's still as coherent as it was without the setup.
seriously, watch Yellow Jackets. It's the best thing on TV in years.
Fair enough.
I'm not going to tell anyone what it's about.
That's all we need to know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put Saturn on a guy's head.
As you've liked to point out in the past, it's one of my favorite things, so it's people who know that it's going to be unbelievably fun.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that Drakengard was too, like, obnoxious for you.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's 100% up your alley.
Oh no, in terms of plot, storyline, everything, 100% love it to bits. The story is completely unlike anything you will see in any other game, and quite a few films and books. The gameplay
It's unlike anything you should see.
Yeah. The gameplay is tedium in its purest form, and
Oh yeah.
an early indicator that Yoko Taro is one of the most antisocial people who has ever lived.
He's up there.
But no, I remember how that's how you introduced Library of Ruina. This is one of Static's favorite games, so you know it's going to be messed up.
Yep. And yeah, watching that Drakengard playthrough, I was thinking of Library of Ruina and how it's like so similar in just being a world where everything is fucked up in every possible way.
Yep, I think off the top of my head, the only thing that it's missing is the incest, and that's only I think. I cannot say for 100% certain.
So there might be sky babies that eat a baby cannibal at some point.
There is cannibalism. We know that for a goddamn fact.
That's for sure, yeah. I mean, that's like normal. That's like the beginning of Library of Ruina.
That's like chapter 2, and now on with cannibalism.
Yeah, that's practically like the subtitle of the game.
Library of Ruina. That's when the cannibalism started.
And we'll be playing that later in the stream. Stay tuned.
And there are weird baby-like abominations that show up later on.
Probably counts.
And actually, yeah, they do eat people. So, yeah, it's practically the same game now that I think about it.
Yep.
Shit.
And like ridiculously convoluted lore that only ever gets worse and never gets better.
Everyone has a fantastic array of bladed weaponry.
Yep.
Anyway, thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Okay, we can theoretically go to the boss. However, if he were to keep killing things, the remaining aliens would escape. We're already at the boss, and we legitimately could not have completed the Death Watch challenge. The point of the Death Watch challenge is to get enough points to go fight the boss.
I feel like someone maybe mistyped a value somewhere.
Yeah, it really seems that way. I mean, in New Game Plus, they add new challenges that are just get a ridiculously high score. So maybe that's the only purpose the Death Watch challenge serves, is New Game Plus.
I remember there was a thing a year or two ago, I cannot remember which game it was, but it was a really big, high-profile game that had like a big piece of content that was missing because someone entered in a wrong value at one point.
Is it Sonic 2006? Is that the couple years ago we're talking about?
Now that game was...
There they are.
There was nothing salvageable about that game.
It's amazing. There is a fan mod that people made like fixing most of the glitches in Sonic 2006 and rebalancing some things, and it's close to a good game. We're judging on a huge curve there.
Yeah. I feel like close to is doing a lot of heavy lifting.
Yeah. Like, I watched a speedrun of it and looked close to an enjoyable experience.
And I see an enjoyable experience and a good game are two wildly different things.
Yeah. It was very strange, though, to see the Sonic 06 levels that I've known for all these years, for notorious and good reason, actually being played, like, without Sonic falling out of the universe arbitrarily.
I remember that happened with Aliens Colonial Marines as well. Some of the aliens, there's like a stealth section where you have to go past a whole bunch of blind aliens, essentially. And someone went into the code and realized some of the values were wrong. And because of that, rather than having to sneak, you could just walk past them with impunity, and as long as you didn't bump into them, everything was fine and dandy. Nice.
Yeah, Sonic 06 had superpowers that you unlock at some point, and they're supposed to cost an energy bar that eventually, like, regenerates. But because they mistyped one value, they never cost any of your energy. So you can just use them infinitely.
For the glory of our house!
They were super broken. And I recently learned that Diablo 2 has these ghosts that shoot electricity at you.
Oh, yes.
And they accidentally applied the mana burn property to your health bar. So those lightning bolts deal your entire health bar in a single hit, no matter what health you have.
Oh, yeah. Some of the glitches and so forth in Diablo, most of them got patched out. But some of them are legendary, like multi-shot lightning enchanted enemies.
Oh, yeah.
Which could take, even a basic one could take you from maximum health, level 99, full buffs, to nothing in about 3 seconds if you were unlucky.
Yep. I'll never forget the barrel walk glitch, though, because I miss it.
Some of them were a lot of fun, but I'm so glad the majority of them got patched out back when I was playing it regularly.
True, yeah. But Marowak, why did they patch that out? It was the only thing that made Necromancers as good as Sorcerers and Paladins.
It's the problem I had with a lot of the balance changes that they made over the years was that they tried to make everything so balanced it meant that nothing really stood out. So a lot of the stuff that you could do was rendered completely useless. Like actually made your character stand out.
It always stood out to me that 2 of the classes were 1,000 times better than all the other ones.
Exactly. Like I like playing the Assassin and the Necromancer.
Yeah, Necro is my favorite by far.
Yeah. And some of the nerfs they got hit by, it's just like they rendered it so that if you weren't playing this one very specific build, you were playing suboptimally, and you would get kicked from every game imaginable.
Oh yeah. Necros, you could only solo as a Necro. Especially because back in the day, computers couldn't handle like too many like character models on screen at the same time. So if you were a summoner, you got kicked.
Well, I've only got 128 crows on screen at one time. What problem is that going to cause?
Obviously fine.
What do you mean you smell toast and you don't know if it's your PC or your brain?
When they team up like this, you can slash them both with a single swipe of the saw, dealing a lot of damage. These boxes they keep bringing in also drop health, so I basically can't die, apparently.
Which is weird, because I can't remember if either they didn't drop them last time, or you were just unlucky and...
I think we're ready. Start streaming this level again for the third time.
Take 3.
It's technically 5th time if we count the failed attempt from weeks ago.
Yeah.
Forgot. That was another crash, but we're good to go, and we always will be.
You're determined to see this through to the bitter end, friends.
We definitely got it worked out this time, and nothing can go wrong.
Oh no, I'm on fire now.
I was in the middle of a struggle, which might kill the boss, so... Picked a good time to tune in. OBS. Let's see what this does. Make the masters zap one another again. Nope, they still got a little bit of HP. So, they teleported away. I was killing you. You mind?
When they're being zapped like that, there needs to be a kind of sound effect.
Yep. That is a sort of cartoony touch this game typically goes for.
And zipper up the back.
Obi-Wan's been impaled, and now we are using him to kill his own apprentice.
Stop hitting your friend. Stop hitting your friend. Stop hitting your friend.
We should, like, keep him like this. And have, force powers the rest of the game. Make it like the Medusa head from God of War.
Situational at best.
Yeah. But cool, because we stole a monster's superpowers by yanking their head off.
Fair point.
And they were so proud of that Medusa head when they were advertising that game in the first place. We finally made it.
Yes. That much more easily that time.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, not that hard of a level. A very long, slow level. But not that hard. Pretty tedious if you don't know what to do yet. And why do the aliens spawn after the boss? What the hell? But anyway, we're Death Watch rank 5 now, after killing the Masters. Beautiful. Now Martin is here, as the final boss at the robot factory. It's the most deadly weapon on Earth. Right here on the island, couldn't stop the takeover.
You know, I hear that Martin's a bad mother.
Shut your mouth.
I'm only talking about Martin.
Okay, this is bound to be important.
Number 13's representative on screen.
Hello, Noah. Long time no see.
It has been too long, Your
Oh, is Noah finally getting his arc?
So, you were planning on mentioning your continued relationship with Jack. Or perhaps you wanted me to
It was a
discover
one-time
your
thing in a
authentic
garage.
support on my own.
He lays golden eggs, Noah.
He jacked me, I jacked him.
Cleaning him. Even has flown the coop.
Yes, but he continues to win. Isn't there more profit to be had as his sponsor?
As you are no doubt aware, Jack is no common contestant. He came to this island with his own agenda. A contract with such a contestant wouldn't be legal.
Yes, his agenda. You wouldn't happen to know what that is. He's costing us a great deal of money.
Noah, we support your endeavor. In fact, we are so enchanted with your product that we plan on significantly increasing our current investment. But we can hardly be expected to bear even a portion of your loss due to one rogue contestant's actions. No, that is entirely your responsibility. Or perhaps we, or rather, I have overestimated your abilities?
The games are not yet over.
True
Not sure how 13
I
intends to
assure
cash in when every
organization
contestant besides
best of
Jack is
luck
dead.
with your remaining
So he can't possibly be representing
I
anybody.
trust you'll be there to the end.
Also, I like how he's trying to do,
Check
oh,
his
come
DNA.
on, you're not a
not
wussy, are you?
What?
To a
His DNA.
underground crime
Check
syndicate.
Jack's DNA.
Get a sample of his blood.
I have
and
plenty
get
of
to
it
the
on my
lab
shirt.
Now.
Plenty of that around. Right away, sir.
Afraid to find out what a
Ew.
secret agent is
I had
doing.
hoped you'd have
Oh, there we go,
realized
yeah.
who he is.
More info about their date.
plenty of that around.
Rang is around here somewhere. I can only assume.
See, I was thinking it looks like one of the ball mechs from Gundam.
Probably true as well.
Because they are literally just a big ball with a pair of pincers attached to it.
Yeah. It had spider legs. It would look like one of those things from Ghost in the Shell.
Oh yeah, Tachikomas.
Yeah. I almost called it a Tsuchinoko. It's different. And real. And my friend.
If not real, why is friend-shaped?
That alien talked to me. For what might be the most frequently played song throughout the game. And one of the worst.
I was going to say one of my favorites.
Oh. I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, the worst song in this soundtrack is still really good.
Yeah. No, this is one of the ones I've always liked. Because it's one of the faster-paced ones. Most of the songs in this are relatively slow-paced.
True. Yeah, once we get to the horror chapter, they do really slow down the pace of a lot of the songs. They become horrorcore. Very Steve.
Pain and Gain?
What's that?
I said, if I remember, this one's called Pain and Gain.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
I can't refute it. So I didn't do anything to initiate a struggle there. I did bonk my controller against a... just so we needed more technical difficulties. Okay. Controller's back, and I gotta waggle some more. I waggled too much. God damn it.
We're seeing levels of waggle that have been previously hereto unbelieved to have existed.
The game is cheating. It's like disconnecting from my controller in the middle of a waggle. I could have actually gone up and slashed it with a chainsaw for a while there. But they give us rocket launchers, which seems like a bad idea when they're trying to kill us. The rocket launcher takes off a huge amount of the boss's health.
Compared to even like the Frankenstein's monster boss, this one seems remarkably easy.
This is dramatically easier than Frank. It's very similar to Frank in a lot of ways, but balanced in a way that is actually very manageable and very unlikely for you, the player, to die. Like, this is annoying.
Yeah.
When you get hit with one of the missiles, the entire screen gets all smoky.
Anything that obscures your vision in a game is inevitably going to be one of the worst parts of it.
True. He's got a chainsaw between his treads, so if you try to slash him on foot, he'll probably get hit.
Overcompensating.
Yep, in a lot of ways. But you can go down and slash his treads and it will do damage. I guess I'm going to do that. Oh, he ran me over for trying. I'm going to hit him with a robot ass. A bite. A shiny metal ass.
Oh, that's shiny.
Indeed. There are pills in the boxes on every corner of the room. But overall, this is a downgrade in difficulty from basically every previous boss, but especially the masters we just fought.
Yeah. It was like this should have been the previous one.
In a lot of ways, this entire level should have been in place of the horror level. The horror level is way harder than the entirety of Area 66, in my opinion. Yeah, there he's dead.
Wow.
In fact, this execution animation, if I'm not mistaken, has no inputs from me whatsoever. No more waggling. Bada boom.
Big bada boom.
Killed by the woman we pleasured earlier.
I feel like they're trying to make a statement on something, but I'll be damned if I know what it is.
Two minutes. Total joke. What was with that boss?
Anticlimactic.
Yep. If I had even attempted to preserve my lives, I would not have even lost one there.
That's not possible.
It's a
Wasn't even difficult.
99% match, sir. It's him. There hasn't been a Death Watch game since 2001, which would make Jack the reigning champion.
There's a record of his death in 2001, the Atwar suicide bombing.
His name is changed along with his face, his fingerprints.
2001 suicide bombings, you say?
He really didn't want the Bureau following him.
MadWorld's trying to say something.
He was hiding from us. You think he could have forged all those?
Apparently Jack
Ministry
did
of Justice
9/11
records
off screen
himself?
somewhere.
He left the Marines in 2001, right when he was
He
supposed to
he didn't do 9/11, but he allowed it to happen, which is almost as bad.
He works for justice?
As much as Jack works for anybody, he's an MOJ spy. He has been all along.
You're sounding a little David Icke there.
Bureau of Public Security were the ones who helped him escape from the Death
Plot
Watch.
thickens
He brought them to
slash
death on us.
starts finally,
They erased his identity in return.
and doesn't mean anything. Like, what the hell's an MOJ? We don't know. We don't care.
Probably the Ministry of Justice, I would think.
Nah.
Mice on juvenile delinquents.
The rescue effort launched by the authorities 3 days after the occupation and the attempt at driving us out both failed spectacularly. With our identity unknown and a total blackout on information.
I do like that this guy is taken to pacing around.
Which is why they sent him.
Now that he's so upset.
One man who knows who we are and what we do.
Doesn't really help when he delivers everything in the same monotone, though.
True. Really not a good villain. He's just the, like, generic voice on the radio sort of guy.
He's like
So this is the strip.
if your main bad
Don't
guy
have
was
time
in
for
middle
lap
management.
Yep.
Perv.
He reminds me of the council from Metalocalypse.
Kill him.
But that was
Yeah.
that was intentionally a parody of ineffective overlord kind of guys who don't actually do anything.
Now we
star
wait.
attraction.
Yep, exactly.
However we
Their
kill
solution to
him,
everything is to
we kill
wait.
him by the book. It's what the audience
But this is
expects.
mildly interesting.
That's what they pay for.
Oh, the doctor
Leonardo.
from earlier.
Yes, the
Continue
doctor
the
whose
games,
life we
Noah.
saved.
We have quite a loss to make up for.
He's the
Don't
boss
worry, Jack
of
will
the
fight.
boss.
He will die a horrific yet profitable death.
And he's got such an imposing voice.
You know where we stand, Noah. Jack may be a dangerous man, but I'd rather
In a
fight him
black
myself
void.
than have Lord Gesser for an enemy.
Yeah, really. Their environmental budget ran out as well as their boss budget. And their waggle budget. They used up all their waggles getting through the giant robot. So I'm Deathwatch rank 2, and they want me to go to Casino Land.
Ooh, Casino Night Zone.
Yep, everyone's favorite in Sonic. It is where this game concludes. At long last. It's another full level, but I believe it is significantly shorter than all the other ones. If I recall correctly. One way or another, we'll see it. Eventually, but I'm done with MadWorld for now. After all the technical difficulties, this video was as long as all the previous ones, if not longer.
That was quite an adventure in PCs collapsing and falling down.
Yeah. Whatever. We made it. It's appropriate that the sci-fi level gave us the most technical difficulties.
Yeah, turns out the final boss was OBS.
Yep. Turned our computer against us. But there we go. See you again soon for the finale of MadWorld.